It is an essential part of buying inventory, paying employees, marketing the business, buying or repairing business tools, and paying his own salary.
You chose financial management, and it is correct. Small companies are incubators of new sales ideas, products and services, and create times more patents per employee than large companies.
Smart move. 10 is an accurate answer.
This is mainly from personal savings, relatives at the initial stages, and some secured credit later if the business is growing. Sharp thinking. Funding is the right choice. Funding a business online through the collective involvement of others who provide donations, loans, or investments. This is
Strong choice. Crowdfunding is the right answer.
the business idea, ownership structure, and the business's long-term goals are discussed in this section of a business plan. Correct response. Description of the business is the most accurate answer. According to the Small Business Administration, a small business is an independent business with fewer than employees.
Nice work. You chose 500, and it is correct. Professional, scientific, and services account for the largest percentage of small businesses in the United States. Perfect. Technical is the correct choice. A U.S. government agency that helps small business owners obtain financing and other support for their companies is the... Right again. Small Business Administration is a valid answer. Retired local business people who volunteer their service to counsel and mentor business owners are known as.
On track. Service Corps of Retired Executives is the correct answer. Money provided by large investors to finance new products and new business that have a good chance to succeed is. Solid response. Venture capital is a valid choice. The part of a business plan that discusses sales forecasts and the location and number of potential patrons. Bravo. Kutumer analysis is the answer. Which element of a business plan discusses the entrepreneur's short and long-term goals for the business? Nicely done. Description of the business is a solid answer. Is a process in which a small group of people interacts to produce a large quantity of imaginative ideas. Well done. Brainstorming is the right choice. The part of a business plan that discusses the industry characteristics and the condition of the economy. Well picked. Description of competition is the correct answer. Money needed to pay for the current operating activities of a business is referred to as financing. Clear logic. Your choice short-term is sound and 100% true. Is the process of starting, organizing, managing, and assuming the responsibility for a business. Good thinking. Entrepreneurship is the right answer. Small businesses are responsible for almost % of the U.S. gross domestic product each year. Great thinking. 50 is the right choice. Which one of the following is not a simple way by which small businesses can be socially responsible? Correct. Encourage reinventing is the right answer. Many small businesses have an advantage over larger businesses because they are better able to Good job. Your answer, provide unique services to customers, works well here.
Dash financing is money needed for the main resources of a business that will last for many years. Nice selection. Long term is the correct and valid answer. Which of the following would not be discussed in the operations plan section of a business plan?
Great job. Sales forecasts is the accurate answer.
A dash business should locate in an area with access to raw materials and transportation systems.
Valid point. Manufacturing is true.
A written description of a business idea and how it will be carried out is called a dash.
Exactly. Business plan makes sense, and it is right choice. Entrepreneurial couples who work together as co-owners of their business are referred to as smart pick. Coupreneurs is the correct choice.
A business dash is a written description of a business idea and how it will be carried out.
Right choice. Plan is the best answer.
One of the most significant economic developments in recent business history relates to the
Excellent choice. Growth of blue-chip corporations is the right answer.
advantages to buying an existing business that you do not have with a startup include dash.
You got it. Your choice inventory is in place and trade credit is established is right.
Which of the following is probably the least important factor in becoming an entrepreneur?
Excellent. Living in a major city is a brilliant choice.
A government agency that helps entrepreneurs develop business plans and obtain financing. You're right. Small Business Administration is the correct answer. Products or raw materials a business keeps on hand to do business are referred to as dash.
Well reasoned. Inventory is the correct choice.
The various groups and individuals who affect and are affected by a business are called.
On track. Stakeholders is the correct answer.
Creativity is necessary for building a competitive advantage and for business survival.
Nice work. You chose creativity, and it is correct.
Choosing the right business partners is a critical success factor for new businesses.
Perfect. Workforce is the correct choice. Which of the following is not a common reason for the failure of small businesses?
Excellent. Shortage of skilled workers is a brilliant choice.
Identify and serve customers who are likely to patronize your business more often.
Well picked. Target the right customers is the correct answer. Someone who takes a risk in starting a business to earn a profit is known as.
Correct response. Entrepreneur is the most accurate answer. The government agency that anyone looking to help with starting a business is the. You're right.
Small Business Administration is the correct answer.
Small businesses account for dash of the U.S. gross domestic product each year. You chose more than half, and it is correct. Which type of business is the easiest to get funding for and has stockholders? Right choice. Corporation is the best answer. Small businesses employ dash of private sector employees in the United States. Excellent choice. More than half is the right answer. The amount of money needed to open a business is called dash financing. Nicely done. Startup is a solid answer. Money needed to pay for the current operating activities of a business. Good job. Your answer short-term financing works well here. Which type of business may have royalty fees associated with ownership?
Correct. Franchise is the right answer.
Which of the following would be an example of revenue for a business? Strong choice. Selling a product is the right answer. There is no hierarchical boundary in levels of management or decision. Great job. Control is the accurate answer. Small businesses have an advantage over big businesses when customers. You got it. Your choice, want more individual attention, is right. Which of the following statements regarding a business plan is true? Smart pick. It should be revised yearly is the correct choice. Entrepreneurs tend to be overly optimistic, personal into business. Valid point. Optimistic, personal is true. Are privately, independently owned, managed, and operated for profit. Bravo, business plan is the answer. Which of the following does not describe a typical small business? Sharp thinking. It is dominant in its field, is the right choice. Listening to feedback from customers is important in any business. Exactly. Customer focus makes sense and it is right choice. Essential in a factor in the beginning a life of a new business. Right again. Adaptation is a valid answer. A type of business that sells products directly to consumers. Clear logic. Your choice retail business is sound and 100% true. What percentage of U.S. small businesses are owned by women? Well done. More than 25% is the right choice. Dash is the amount of money needed to open a new business. Solid response. Startup financing is a valid choice. If you start a new business, you need information about. Smart move. All of the choices listed is an accurate answer. The first step in developing a business plan is to dash. Good thinking. Gather and review information is the right answer. What is the most important aspect of a business manager? Great thinking. Leadership is the right choice. Most of the money needed to start a business comes from. Well reasoned. The owner and her family and friends is the correct choice. The majority of small companies are concentrated in the. Nice selection. Manufacturing. Service is the correct and valid answer. What goods and/or services do small businesses provide? Smart move. All of these and more is an accurate answer. The blueprint you should use to operate your business. Valid point. Business plan is true. Which type of business is subject to double taxation? Correct response. Corporation is the most accurate answer. Dash is a new business that is started from scratch. Nicely done. Startup is a solid answer. What is not a source of financing for entrepreneurs? You're right. Operations management is the correct answer. Most business plans are developed for dash year. Bravo. One is the answer. Products or raw materials a business keeps on hand. You got it? Your choice inventory is right. Choose appropriate location for your business. Well done. Location is the right choice.
A disadvantage of owning your own business is
Exactly. Long work hours make sense, and it is right choice. What is important about managing a business?
Good job. Your answer people will be looking up to you. For leadership works well here.
what are some duties of a management team?
Good thinking. Training, delegating, and motivating is the right answer.
The majority of small business owners are
You chose over 40 years old, and it is correct.
What can you find in a business overview? Sharp thinking. Type of business and the demographics is the right choice.
Every business begins with a
Solid response. Idea is a valid choice. Most business plans are updated.
strong choice. Annually is the right answer. Business ideas can come from. Correct. All of these is the right answer. Unlimited liability means. Excellent choice. The owner is responsible for the company's debts is the right answer. Who is a product?
On track. A product can be service or an item is the correct answer.
How you will get all these quiz questions in PDF books format? Right again. Contact Narayan Changda is a valid answer.